That's a bit of a far walk, but I could probably get my truck in here, but it's just such a drop off there. I just don't want to get divoted in there. Pretty sure it's solid enough, but rather than risk scratching my beautiful truck, my brother's car, and all that. So I think I stole enough hay here. Unless it all falls apart before I get to the there we go. Well, somebody got a chainsaw. Huh? What? You didn't do that to me. You didn't just do that to me. This is what I was afraid of. I'm gonna have like a big stream of freaking hay between here and there. I found something. Vacuum cleaner bag? I only want to steal the hay, not the vacuum cleaner bag. So, straw would be better, but this is free. Now, what I'm going to be doing with it? Oh, what am I going to be doing with it? I don't know. I can't tell you just yet. You know, so my dad's gonna say, "What are you doing all that? Where'd you get all that?" Well, I stole it out of the barn. Well, we needed that, you know. It's been there since 1987, but you might need that someday. You know how things go. Go punch a hole in the tire, I guess. Eh? There you go. Amazing, my nephew ain't coming. It's too hot. My nephew's probably, I'm not gonna go out and see Uncle Jesu. It's too hot out there. He's working anyway, and he might put me to work. So, yeah. Yeah, so he's probably, I gotta stay inside, play video games. Yeah. So, if anybody can figure out exactly why, again, I can't wait till I get that garden going. That was huge, that garden. I remember all the green onions and everything in there. Oh, to die for. To die for. But my grandmother and grandfather never really planted a lot of different things, but they always had like their staple things. They had green onions, red onions, and yellow, the normal onions, the big onions. Then they would have always cabbage and lettuce. Always had to have that. And radishes, no less than coming out your ears. You'd have, so like I was like forced to eat like tons of radishes. Here, they're all gonna go bad. Here, eat them all. Of course I would, because I loved them, right? But my favorite was sitting there with my grandmother and grandfather, right? I was a little kid, and I'd pour a little, be sitting in there in the house. They'd babysit us once in a while, my sister and I, because my brother wasn't born yet. My brother lives in the house now. But basically what would happen is they'd pour a little salt on the table. I'll wait till the wind stops there. They'd pour a little bit of salt, maybe about that much on the table. You take your green onion and you just dip it in and just eat just like the tip of the green onion. And it was so tasty. Yeah, salt and green onions. You'd sit there, eat that, and then you'd have carrots. They grow lots and lots of carrots. Now corn, my grandfather had a saying that when the grasshoppers had to pack a lunch for the day, it was pretty sparse land. And yeah, my grandfather was French Canadian, right? My grandmother was Irish, right? So basically we had like potato rock soup. So it was part Irish, part French, right? And basically the land up here is like some of the worst and some of the best farmland, depending on where you are. And although you could see trees all around here, when I was a kid, there was no trees here. I could see from the house to the store to the church. You could see the whole town pretty much from the deck. And it was all, this was all farm pasture when I was a kid. These were the barns, this is where the horses were, this is where the cows were. I think the cows were more in here and the horses were always in there. And basically the cows were just milking cows and the odd beef cow, right? Goats and pigs, they always had pigs. Goats, grandfather hated goats. It had something to do with the goats chewing his tractor seats. That said, the last horse that was here, the fence used to be right around, right in front of the truck there. His name was Barney. He was the last barn animal that was here, and he was a workhorse. Big brown workhorse, stubby legs. I swear he was as wide as this door here. Powerhouse of a horse. Extremely stubborn. But one of the best working horses, my grandfather said he was the best working horse when he wasn't stubborn. And the guy he sold him to said he'd never seen a horse work like that in his life. He said that horse was just pure power. And he wasn't a big horse. It was just, he was just that horse. But why did my grandfather get rid of him, you ask? Oh, stay tuned. Stay tuned.